the show. Over the next few weeks, I'll be talking about things that matter, and perhaps just as compellingly, well, for me anyway, things that don't. Today it's food, soulmates and handbags, and I'll leave it to you to decide which category they fit into. Our special guest today is a mixture of whirlwind and bombshell. Look at her. And a person that everyone, including me, is mad about. It's Charlotte Church.
Hi.
Thanks for coming. And forming my kitchen chorus today is the Times columnist Jonathan Gornall. He's here to add a bit of testosterone, you know, and because he makes me laugh.
Thank you very much. So you could say I'm your beef laughing stock.
Also joining me, Daily Mail journalist Jackie Stevens, someone who's smart and funny, and I have to be honest, is also here because she's an old friend who I haven't seen for a while.
Yes, you never write, you never phone.
I did email once. Anyway, welcome to all my guests. Well, Charlotte, because it's you, I've got some Welsh lamb. Now, I don't know if you cook much.
I'm okay.
OK,
Yeah.
but I have to say, I'm going to get on with this, which is their burgers, that's lamb rather than beef, but I mean, obviously, that is not a huge difference. And in it, there's going to be some dried oregano, some mint, some garlic, some salt, and a bit of lemon zest. And I'm just going to take this off the heat slightly before I burn the set down. And this is bulgur wheat. It's just a kind of wheat that comes really kind of hard and crackly. Wheat.
Ooh.
Steady there.
Yeah,
You're getting excited about your cooking. OK, and I just soak that in water, taking it out just to keep the meat just a teeny bit kind of moister. A bit like you use breadcrumbs in sausages.
OK.
Don't have to, I'm just doing it for you. OK, the herbs. It's the mint, the oregano. I'm a great believer in cooking, you know, Charlotte, because I feel like I'm now being very patronising or matronising. Because I think that people believe that it's kind of old-fashioned sort of drudgery, cooking. But I think this is very important that you learn to be completely kind of self-reliant.
Yeah.
Because it's awful to have to rely on someone else to to feed you.
I do love cooking, and my steak's pretty good. My steak's not too bad at all.
That's very good. That's actually, I think, simple things are often harder to cook.
Yeah, but when I first
lemon
moved
zest.
out of my, my parents' home,
Yep.
I was living on pot noodles for about 2 months. And I got fed up of that, so I started just doing chicken stir-fries and stuff, which were a bit dodgy at the start. But I'm not bad now, obviously nowhere near as good as you. It's something I really want to learn to do really well.
Yes. Well, it's kind of a nice way of, I think, especially because you're always kind of about the place, you don't get much time to be around.
Yeah.
So quite nice when you are to do something like that.
Yeah, definitely.
Now, I'm going to make a burger, and what I'm going to do is just make one, and then you can make another one.
OK.
And I have got some baby wipes, so you can mop yourself down afterwards.
This is going to be fun.
Well, it's not kind of a precision art. It's a bit like plasticine. I know your plasticine days are a bit behind you.
Play-Doh.
Play-Doh, yes, quite.
Fun while it lasted.
OK, here you are.
So I've just got to do what you did?
Yes, vaguely. I'm just going to put this in like that.
OK.
I'm going to leave you to it. Just put some in your hands. OK, and then just really mould it round so you've got a round that's then a slightly fat disc.
Slightly fat disc, OK.
See, look, you're doing very well.
Is that
Perfect,
okay?
much better than mine. OK? Which is, you see, I've obviously gone for a very fat disc.
Yeah.
That's very good. So I'm going to just turn these down slightly, and those would carry on cooking. And I've got some here, because I wanted you to try it, and I knew that they'd be a bit raw in the middle still by the time we did this.
Oh, they look lovely.
There we are. I'm going to put these over this way.
Starving.
Oh, good. I like feeding people. It's my favourite thing. OK, some pitta. Instead of... I kind of wanted to go off an angle. It's kind of new fusion food. It's halfway between Welsh and Greek.
OK, lovely.
OK, we're going to start a trend. OK. In that goes a bit of hummus just out of a tub. You know, that's chickpeas with a bit of sesame and garlic. And I mix that with yoghurt to make it more like a kind of creamy spread. A bit of cumin. And then as many as you can stuff into your sandwich. I won't make you do this. It won't be like one of those children's games.
Yeah.
It's not going to morph into the generation game. Tomatoes, red onions cut really fine, celery, lemon, and mint.
I'd never think to put mint in a burger, but I suppose it's lamb, so...
Yes, I know.
Do it with any meat, though?
Yeah, of course you could do it with any... I love mint in everything. I think it's very underused. Very keen on it. But you could use parsley or anything. I mean, I think the thing about cooking is a lot of people are put off because they think there are rules.
Yeah.
And it actually, you know, it is, in the end, what you want to eat. So if you're someone who doesn't like mint, well, then, you know, you put something else. You put basil, or you can... So I think you've got to remember that all these things can be very, very forgiving. That's my kind of cooking, anyway. Otherwise, it's too frightening.
So I'm not very good with spices. I'd like to be able to use them more and things, but I'm a bit of a plain girl.
Plain?
Yeah.
But
just because I don't really know what goes with what.
But you don't know until you taste it.
Yeah, I suppose.
It's a bit like, you know, people. You know.
Yeah.
Didn't mean it in quite that way. OK, I think we can safely say, there it is. I'm covered with pitta and hummus. Now, tell me what you think. We don't have to tell me what you think. You can just see whether you can actually manage to get your singing gear around it.
Yeah, I'll do it. Yeah, it's all a bit massive.
Now, in a moment, we'll be talking soulmates and handbags. Can a girl live without either? But first, I'm talking to Charlotte Church. Now, I know it sounds really kind of crassing to say, but I love your new single, and I love the video.
Thank you.
And it occurred to me a bit that your public have been willing you to do something like this for ages, because it seems amazing that it's kind of your first foray into pop, because you've been such a kind of pop personality.
Yeah, I don't really know what it is. I mean, the tabloids obviously have like a huge interest in me, and I don't really know why. Because I don't think I live my life any different to most teenagers, and I'm sure people like Joss Stone are going out and having arguments with people, do you know what I mean?
I know, but I think there's always a certain person that seems to attract enormous interest, and it isn't just, you know, it isn't just the tabloids. I can't tell you how everyone has been kind of so crazy about, God, you know, she's coming on and you're going to see, and I think there's someone, I don't know whether it's that you represent a certain something for people, that maybe that you're a star, and yet you seem quite normal as well.
Well, I've always managed to keep my feet on the ground. I've got a really good family who I'm really close to, and that's mainly kind of why I've stayed in Cardiff as well, which is where I grew up. So I think all those factors have kind of really helped me just know who I am and kind of stay true to that and not get kind of all messed up in the whole industry, because it's quite easy to.
But is it difficult to keep a sense of kind of even relative calm when I think about the pressure, because everything's about what you look like, what you've been wearing, whether you've put on weight, whether you've lost weight, how much you've been drinking, and that's an awful lot of thinking, like being stared at, and it isn't like you're being paranoid and imagining it, because it's real.
Yeah, it is definitely real. It is slightly bizarre, but I'm lucky because I'm a strong enough person myself, and I'm pretty happy with myself. I'm pretty comfortable. If I was any less strong than I was, then it could have all gone horribly wrong. But I mean, I don't really see myself. I don't think I'm stylish in the slightest. I've got nice clothes. I just can't put anything together. So I'm usually in that's a wrong-un list rather than just a cute kid. Yeah, that's what usually happens. But I don't mind. At the end of the day, my job, I'm a singer, I'm a performer, and as long as I'm good at that and people think I'm good at that, then I don't really care about what they say about what I'm wearing or how much weight I put on or lost, whatever. And
do you find it difficult, I suppose, because at your age, it sounds opposite your age.
No, it's okay.
But at your age, which I do remember, it's, you know, that everything is very intense.
Yeah.
And both the highs and the lows.
Absolutely.
And your relationships really are teaching a bit about what will work out for the rest of your life. Now, I can't imagine what it would have been like then to have people scrutinising my relationships.
Yeah, it's just a bizarre situation, and it's not like anybody can guide me through it, because it's quite a unique situation, because I've been famous since I was 12, and there's such intense scrutiny about everything to do with my life. But I've always just kind of tried to live it as normally as I possibly could. I've always done what I want. I haven't let what anybody else has said affect me. And I've made some mistakes, but if I can't do it now, when can I?
I think you've got to consider that you're always allowed to.
Yeah.
I don't think there's a cut-off point, otherwise that would be too exhausting.
Yeah, exactly.
But I mean, you seem quite mellow, I say. When I can see you around, you seem very mellow and relaxed.
Yeah.
Now, is it like the swan who's meant to look so serene, but underneath is kind of paddling hard, or are you quite calm?
No, I think I'm quite calm. I think...
that's a gift.
Yeah, I think I'm quite calm, and I'm just really comfortable with myself, which is always a good thing. And I think if I wasn't, I think for a lot of girls who are in my position, who are, you know, singing whatever, if it's just all about their looks and they haven't really got that much talent, then what the papers say can get to them things, because deep down they know...
They're insecure.
Yeah, you know what, I don't really know why I'm doing this either. But I could just kind of bounce back from what everybody says and just try and take it all in my stride. But I've always been kind of quite a mellow kind of person.
But in a way, that's quite a nice thing to know, that you're someone who just gets strength from being talented or having a gift.
Yeah, I mean, I've always gone, no matter what people say, and even though sometimes, maybe if it's something particularly bad, it does get me down, I think, well, do you know what, I know I'm good at my job, and I'm a happy person, I've got a great family, a great boyfriend, so I'm a happy chicken.
Oh, that's very nice. You know, you were saying about, you know, in your position, there aren't many 19-year-olds who are happy chickens, you know, whatever they do. So I think, you know, you've got to go out there and to sell your 19-ness.
Yeah, I do.
We're very envious of.
I do try.
Now, as part of the show, I'm keen to get under the skin of the nation and get to know all our innermost thoughts. Now, I always think that serious big issues just tell you what people think or what they want you to believe they think. But if you want to know what people feel, and they tend to be more truthful about that, you have to ask about more everyday issues. So today we're looking at soulmates. We asked over 1,000 people, have you met your soulmate? 6 out of 10 people say yes, they have met their soulmate. But a quarter of them say they have let their soulmate get away. So we asked people who say they haven't found their soulmate, are you still looking? And sadly, 4 out of 10 of them say they've given up. Now, is that a good sign or a bad sign? I mean, do you believe in soulmates?
Oh, absolutely, I really believe in soulmates and things. But I think it's not just a partner. You find a soulmate in a partner. It's loads of different people around you. Like, my mum went to one. I like all the kind of the mystics and the psychics and stuff. Yeah. My mum once went to a psychic and she said that we were sisters in a former life, which is much more like our relationship now. She borrows my clothes. Yeah. She's like, you can't wear my jeans. Your bum's too big. You'll stretch them. So, yeah, I think you can have soulmates in every area of your life.
Are you a great soulmate, Jackie? I ask you laughing because I know how bitter and cynical you're going to be about this.
Well, I think when
you're romantic at heart.
But your soul develops. I mean, someone who I might think is a soulmate at 18, you know, at this age now, quite frankly, I'd want to stick a stake through his heart.
But didn't you then as well?
No, I really felt that I'd met the person I wanted to be with the rest of my life. But now I'm just grateful if they're there at last orders.
Now, do you think, tell me something, do you think it's a kind of sissy conversation to be having about soulmates?
I think it's a bit self-deluding, because how many people are in the world? 4 billion or something? How are you ever going to find your soulmate? They might be in Rangoon while you're in Peckham.
So... No, but I see, you're obviously a bit pessimistic, because I thought I was pessimistic, but I think if they're going to say how many... Yes. How many people do you say in the world? I don't know why I believe him, but anyway, whatever it is, if there are so many, the chances are you are going to meet a soulmate, because the odds are on your side.
I think the crucial thing is that you treat everyone you're with and you're in love with as your soulmate at that time.
But I thought it was quite interesting that I think it was of all the people who said yes, in their life they had met their soulmate, a quarter of those people, and I'm very bad at numbers, but I think that's right, a quarter of those people said that the person they're with now wasn't their soulmate. So they're kind of thinking, that was the person I really should have been with, but I'm no longer with that person.
I think that's nostalgia. I mean, you look at websites such as Friends Reunited, which has broken up a lot of relationships, because people have it in their minds that they never felt as intensely as they did then. And as Charlotte said earlier, you know, when you're in your teens, it's a very intense experience, up until, I would say, your late 20s, which is when you really start to change. So people go onto the website and think, oh, when I felt about that, what I felt about that.
But also, intense doesn't necessarily mean it's a good relationship either. No. You know, that's a different matter. But do you think also there's an element that as people get older they settle for less, so that maybe they think when they were younger they wanted that person to be everything that they dreamt of, and then later they find out that that sort of thing always disappoints you.
You realise that no one person can be everything all the time to you. And unfortunately I think that's why people have affairs. Not because they're not in love with the person they're with, but they're looking for another way of...
Oh, that's really depressing.
Yes, we all see.
Here I am, all young and optimistic.
You're right to be optimistic, and I think anyway that you can have a sense that someone is that person who you need to have in your life, but it doesn't mean to say, you know, as Jackie was saying, it doesn't mean that you were a lesser person without that other person, or that, you know...
I think for those people that I think, you know, I think that could be my soulmate. It's just people who make me a better person, who I actively feel like I want to be so much nicer and kinder than I am, really.
That wears off.
I think there are lots more soulmates out there after 4 pints of lager.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, are you interested to know what our audience here thinks?
Yes.
So Nina feels that they don't exist. She says, I don't believe in soulmates. For example, what about those people who get married more than once and are equally happy with each partner? Well, yes, I've been married more than once, and I would say that there isn't. You still need to feel that you're connected in a very important way. And it's a bit, as you were saying earlier, that there are relationships at different stages in your life, and you do look for something else,
Anything in trousers would do for me now.
I thought that was good, OK? And Helen says, no, I think the idea of soulmates is too romantic and mysterious. Well, I think that's probably true, but I think that's what we search for in life, isn't it? A bit of romance and mystery.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that since life often doesn't have that, I think we mean someone does feel like they're part of some deeper level of your life that isn't just about, oh, that person will be nice to have dinner with.
I think it's a nice thing to believe in because, I mean, it just gives you a bit of hope throughout your life, because life can be so horrible sometimes, and if you believe in something like that, then I think it just gives you a bit of hope for your life.
Also, you were saying, you look for something that's, that makes you feel better about yourself. I think it means that you look more hopefully at other people and you look for their good qualities. So, on that very optimistic note, I have to say, I bet all those people who say they don't believe in soulmates once did. Now it's time for pure frivolity, or rather impure frivolity. We're talking handbags. And according to those in the know, the latest fashion accessory is the mock croc bag. Now, the test is, can you tell the expensive ones from the cheaper versions? So this is going to be our starting point. I'm going to be very scientific. Bag A.
That's gross. That is the Jurassic Park of handbags.
How much do you think it costs?
I go for £25.
God, harsh.
No, I think that one's £300.
Oh, £12.99.
OK, so I am going to have a look and see. I'm going to say it's around 90. So I think this would look very nice with a black outfit.
Yeah, if you're blind.
Hobbs, £125. Can we proceed to the bag designated B, Charlotte's bag?
This is my bag B.
Does it cost more or less? Is it higher or lower?
More.
Lower.
More, I'd say.
OK, why?
Lower. I can see how shiny and plastic it is from here.
Feels really real, though.
Does it feel real?
Yeah.
So you're saying...
I think it looks more stylish and it looks more real. And also
Yes.
it'll go with more.
Yes.
I mean, that'll only go with you, well, with nothing. You'll just be naked.
What do you think? Do you think it's before you look?
I think it's more.
You think it's
I think it's
more?
got quite nice little details, so I think it's more.
I think it's a bit less. I like that one anyway. So let's have a look.
Having a look. It is £72 for
Jigsaw. That's nice.
Can I just point out the man is currently winning?
Yes, you're very good at it. You're very good at it.
It's all that testosterone, you see.
I think men are very, very, very much better at shopping anyway. Charlotte, do you think that's more expensive or less?
To lick them as well.
Higher or lower?
I'm going to go higher.
Yeah, the straps are quite nice on that. And
I
then
don't
more
like it,
pockets.
though.
I don't like pink snakes, though. That's what would put me on.
They're very dangerous.
OK, Jonathan, would you like to
Yes, I will now
go to the reveal?
That's funny. That's what
That is expensive.
My girlfriend told me all bags
£875 from Versace.
That is incredible.
That's a joke.
That is C. Bag C is very expensive.
No, that's it.
Jackie.
Mind, I bought a bag for €1,300 last week.
Jackie, that's excessive.
Bag D.
Right, bag
Is
D.
expensive.
Here's
Did you enjoy
bag D.
buying it, though?
Yeah, but I could only wear it once. It dislocated my shoulders. It's so heavy with all the things on it.
Bag D, are we
I
saying...
think this looks nice. Quite plastic. It looks leather, but I think it's plastic.
What are you saying? What's your view?
I think it would be about 40 quid, so down.
Yeah.
$29.99.
OK. Jackie, would you like
The
the
market.
bag D? Bag D we have.
£5
that is
from
good.
Primark.
Let's go.
Now, earlier, when we asked the audience which bag they preferred, they voted for bag D. Yours. The one that costs a £5. So have you changed your minds? Now you know how much everything really costs. So I want you to decide now which bag is now your favourite. Well, I'm very pleased to say this is a resolute audience, moderate in their tastes. They see a bargain. Bag D's still the favourite, 45% still like Bag D the best, the £5 one. But the very expensive £875 one has a third of the people going for that, so they're torn. Finally for today, I'm back in the kitchen, one of my favourite places, and I have a wonderful summer pudding. Very straightforward, incredibly easy. Some cream, some strawberries. Now, a slight difference here, which is that just to bring out the sort of strawberryness of strawberries, I borrowed a trick from the Italians when I lived there, which is to add a little bit of balsamic vinegar. And I've got some sugar, which has a few vanilla pods cut up in it, but you can use ordinary sugar. Not much of either, just enough to make them sing a little in honour of Charlotte. Right, so teeny bit of balsamic vinegar on the strawberries, bit of sugar. Just fork them, really. I just want them to be slightly more mushed up. Chop them up first, but you can really leave them as largely chopped or as finely as you want. OK. Whip the cream till it's still got a bit of softness to it. What you don't want is anything resistant here. You want this to be very kind of voluptuous and yielding. Few shop-bought meringue nests, just... I like a bit of destruction here. Just really turn them into rubble, into the cream. Leave some bits small, some bits large. You want a bit of variety. That makes life easier. Put most of the chopped strawberries into this. Leave a bit back. Oh, love the noise. Just fold it through. I mean, it's as easy as that. And actually, you can't beat strawberries and cream. This just makes it slightly different. And I'm going to serve up, by which I mean dollop rather unceremoniously. I don't like elegant servings, although that might be just making a virtue out of necessity, I think. OK, you ready? There it is. Very simple. Strawberries and cream in a mushed-up way.
Yummy.
OK, I'm just going to add a teeny bit here. Charlotte, can I offer this to you?
Yes, please.
Too much, miss? Did you say I left you some spoons?
Yes, we already have them. We're ready to go.
Do I have to eat from the same dish?
It's a bit different.
I know who
area.
she's been kissing. I don't want to share her chips.
Eat now or lose your plate.
They are friends, you know. So anyway, this just leaves me time to say thank you to Charlotte Church, Jackie Stephen and Jonathan Gornall, and see you next time. Bye.